right, 3, 2, 1. Solano Deo, kick us off.
Previously in Odyssey of the Dragonlords, our heroes depart from the Sour Vintage in hopes of finding answers and answering this prophecy. Upon their arrival, the pestering native steam methods gave them a warm welcome and a melee ensued. Shortly after, they arrived to see an old friend of Sananos, Proteus, being harassed by followers of Sidon, Lord of the Storms. They were bested by our heroes, and Proteus gave the heroes a warning of caution before going to save Versi from the enemy. After a sticky situation within the door was handled, our heroes bravely fought off a water creature and the hag. But victory from this battle came at the cost, for one of the heroes perished in the battle. Asia lay dead from the water blast. Kira, the bard hoping to write an epic poem by following the heroes, found her last scroll of resurrection and chose to use it on Asia, the fallen siren.
Excellent. Thank you, Solano Deo. So the heroes are in the Temple of the Oracle in the grotto, this hot steam river where the Oracle visits with folks seeking to learn more about their future, perhaps their past as well. And you all find yourselves here after a battle with a water creature as well as a hag, and the Oracle, Versi, she so glad, so grateful to have been saved by the heroes. And she encourages you all to gather into the center where Carl the Carpet lays still and comfortable, awaiting you to rest and meet with the Oracle. Come, my children, she says, beckoning you to the center island. Kira joins. Saren's already there. Perfect. She looks at you all. She seems to take her time, making eye contact with you, nodding, smiling. She says, human or otherwise, minotaurs, nymphs, sirens, doers, changer of worlds, sufferer of darkness. Thou hast not yet been judged, and a future cannot yet be weighed. Yet thou hast already created a future for weal or woe. Should it be woe, then the land of Thylia will quake and fall, and the blood of my people will flood the heartlands. For the darkness before us rises from the darkness that made you, and you must confront that darkness. Yet more I cannot see until you are judged. Bring to me something of worth, of personal value or sacrifice. You shall then be weighed and judged, and a future can be seen. When you have been judged, only then will a future be revealed for you to make or unmake. So, she looks at you expectantly.
Would anybody like to approach her first? I'm not comfortable here.
I'll go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know Versi, so I'm gonna go first.
Sure. What do you bring to me, Solano Deo?
So Solano just kind of opens his arms wide and looks up to her and says, I'm just a humble servant to the fates, but what I offer you is my whole self.
And she embraces you. And as she does, she kind of strokes the back of your neck and holds you as if you knew that that was something very special to her. And then she kind of whispers to you that she cannot be so selfish to keep you in this time of need. I thank you for our time together. You will be judged shortly. And she lets go of the embrace. She looks to the rest of you. It is tradition, when invited to see the oracle, to bring a gift.
So I'm going to approach her, and I'm gonna pull out my amulet, my holy symbol that was given to me when I entered the priesthood, and I'm gonna rip it off my neck and just put it in my hand and push it out to her.
Ah, a great sacrifice indeed. Thank you, Zark Grumblebum. And she looks around.
Kind of bow my head and kind of take a couple steps back.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Akanti will approach.
Okay. And you start to see that she puts the token from Zark in this kind of offering bowl that she has placed at the center of the circle.
Okay. So Akanti approaches, and she says, "This armband was given to me by my mother, woman, and dedicated myself to the Amazon Conclave." And she takes off her silver armband and
Ah, yes. Thank you for such personal sacrifice. She places it into the sacrificial bowl.
I guess I'll walk up then.
Okay.
I don't have much on me as for giving up, so this is the only thing that I can think to mind. We'll take her like open hand, and she'll like tear off a small feather on her, so like with some dry blood on it. Best and most I can offer is a small token of my people that I've lost.
Ah, Shaya, you shall learn more of your people if you are deemed worthy. Thank you for this feather. It is rare, as you are aware. She places it into the sacrificial bowl. Okay, we'll have Saren, I guess, roleplay when he gets here. Is that everyone present? I believe so.
Yep.
And she makes this drink. You see her kind of mixing the steam around her, but it also seems that steam kind of starts to envelop her, and she pours these drinks using the waters from the steam river around her, but they don't, when she pulls them out with these cups that are filled with the water is a slightly different color. She says, she hands them out to each of you. They have this mist coming from them. She says, "Drink now, soul that is to be weighed. May you balance the feather of truth so that all may be revealed."
Solano drinks it. Do I have to make a con save or anything?
No.
I'm also like I look at Solano, and as I see him raise it to his lips, I also raise it to my lips.
I'll just start drinking slowly.
Okay. Akanti?
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I take drinks.
You what? I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
I can't take drinks.
Okay. So, as you drink of the warm, vapor-filled waters, a heady sensation overtakes you as your eyes grow heavy. You feel yourself floating, bodiless in this strange place. You have no idea where or even when you are. We're gonna do this initiative style just for turn-taking purposes. So, sure, I'll throw Kyra in there so everyone can... Actually, this might work. Does that work?
Yeah. That's probably an easier way to do initiative.
Yeah, I was sick of waiting for y'all.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That was the other campaign. He's got a
Yeah.
sore thing over there.
Comparatively to the other campaign, you all are still alive. No, that's...
Wow.
Oh, he's not lying.
So, Solano Deo, I don't know if you clicked the button, but it didn't work. At least not on my end. That's alright. I'll roll for you.
Okay.
Okay. So, Akanthi... And you all see the same symbols, so you guys could think a little bit ahead. But what we're going to do is just kind of go around, so no one player is just waiting forever. So, a deep, strange voice speaks. Choose that which you were. And you see this. You see an image. Images of different objects appear spread before you. A heart, an ankh, a pentagram, a sword, and a cup. And the deep voice speaks again. Oh, wait, you have to choose. Sorry. Choose first.
Sword.
Heart. Okay.
Sword. I said sword.
Oh, sword. Sorry. I misheard you.
That's all right.
So... The ruler of the city you now live in, so this is kind of an image that forms. The ruler of the city that you now live in has called for war against the city of your birth. You are ordered to serve as a leader in his army. What do you do? This is a vision that you have, and you have to make a choice.
Only just left her village like last week.
Right.
First time.
Yep, so it's just like you're put in this scenario. It might not even look like your original village, but this vision shows up, and you are put in this scenario.
So
The ruler of the city you now live in has called for war against the city of your birth. You are ordered to serve as a leader in his army. What do you do?
I always follow orders.
Okay. You take the position and serve your new city as an officer in the army? All right. There we go. Okay. Next in the initiative order, we go to Ashaya. You see the same symbols. I'll reveal them again if it's gone away. A heart, an ankh, a pentagram, a sword, and a cup. And you hear that voice. Choose that which you were.
The heart.
The heart. Okay. The deep voice speaks again. You are finally alone with the creature of your dreams. Before you can ask them to marry you, they tell you that they're in love with your best friend. What do you do?
So a shy that has no love experience at all. Go for it. Honestly, she would probably have them go right ahead. It seems happy for them. She wouldn't mind.
Okay. You got it. We then have Saren, who is with us now. Saren, if yep, looks like he's off on.
I hit all the red lights. It was the worst luck.
That's okay. Welcome. We went ahead and started without you because there's going to be a lot of role play, but I'll give you the setup, and you have a couple of choices to make. So first, Versi, the Oracle, has called everyone into a little powwow, a little circle on Carl, the carpet, and she has asked you all, before you get your prophecy, to engage in this ceremonial judgment. She has asked each of you to offer something of value or personal sacrifice into the offering bowl in the center of the circle. What does Saren offer?
An old coin from his old world.
Okay. What's the value of the coin?
Gold, but it's more personal than material, basically.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's rare to find these kinds of coins in Thylea.
Sure, sure. So you offer the coin, and she says, "You shall be judged." And she says, "Drink now, soul that is to be weighed. May you balance the fear of truth so that all may be revealed." She offers you this cup to drink.
I guess I take it.
And as you drink the warm, vapor-filled waters, a heady sensation overtakes you as your eyes grow heavy. You feel yourself floating. You have no idea where or when you are. And then you are offered this object. There's 5 objects in your vision during this. And they are a heart, an ankh, a pentagram, a sword, and a cup. Which does Saren choose?
The sword.
Okay. You receive the same vision that Kanthi has received. You see yourself in a city, and the ruler of your city that you now live in has called for war against the city of your birth. You are ordered to serve as a leader in his army. What do you do?
Ask the reason why.
Okay, you ask the reason why. And the officer looks confused at someone who is a leader in the army, questioning his authority. What does Saren do?
Why do you want to go to war with them?
Okay, so you ask him about the cause of the war?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I should have saw that as an option, but I found it afterwards. So you
Can't
are. Yep, you're good.
I can't get to the map.
Okay, I will see if I can remedy that situation. I don't know. You don't need it right now anyway, but if you can get to it, but I have it activated. I don't know what else to do. You might have to do a refresh.
Okay.
Next up, Zark Grumblebum. You see those objects.
I will choose the Ankh.
All right. As you enter Strange Town, you see a group of people gathered around a crude gallows. A badly injured man with a noose around his neck calls out to you for help and says that he is innocent. The crowd shouts, "Murderer!" What do you do?
I step up on the platform and request that he has a fair trial. Well, I ask if he's had a fair trial. I assume he has not, and request that he does have one in my presence.
Okay. Solano Deo, I believe you are up.
Sure am.
You see those objects floating in your vision. Which do you choose?
I choose the cup.
Okay. Again, the deep voice speaks, or you see this vision, or a mix of the two. A deadly illness has swept the city, and you hold in your hand the last flask of healing potion. On the beds in front of you lie two very ill people. One is your small niece. The other is the elderly apothecary who created the healing potion. What do you do?
I cast a healing spell to heal the apothecary and give my niece the potion.
Okay. Okay.
Did I do a bamboozle?
I found something that fit.
Yes! Did a thing, alright.
Brain do good.
Suddenly, after your individual visions, the objects before you fade and a new set of items appear. The deep, strange voice speaks. Choose that which you are. And you see a whole new set of objects. You see an hourglass. You see a key. You see a yin-yang symbol. You see a fist. You see an infinity symbol. You see a ring. Akanthi is up.
I choose the hourglass.
You hear the voice again. You are on a vital mission for your king. You must make it to the village by nightfall, and already the sun is sinking behind the mountain peaks. Suddenly, you hear a cry for help from the jungle off to the west. What do you do?
I would like to say that I will continue my mission, but I will investigate the cry.
Okay. Okay. Answer the call for help and hope you can find the time to finish your mission. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's great. Okay, Ashaya, you see the same 6 symbols. Which does Ashaya choose?
The yin yang.
Okay. You hear the voice. You are called to a distant city to act as an impartial judge on a murder trial. When you arrive, you discover that the accused is an old friend from your childhood. What do you do?
I give a fair trial. No favoritism.
Okay. Interesting, interesting. Saren, in your vision, you see these objects floating, hovering, bobbing all around you. Which do you choose?
I don't see him.
They are an hourglass. I could show them again. Hopefully that pops up, but if not, they are...
Yeah, it pops up, just not that map. Okay. Okay, hourglass. I guess the key.
All right. The voice bellows, you stand before 3 locked doors. One is labeled wealth, one is labeled happiness, and one is labeled glory. You have a key that will open any one of these doors before it vanishes. What do you do?
How long does it stay open? I mean, how long is the limit?
That's all the information you have.
Wealth, power, happiness, glory.
Glory, happiness, wealth.
Glory.
Okay. Very interesting. Zark, you see 6 symbols floating in your vision.
Zark would also choose the key.
Okay, same thing. 3 doors. One labeled wealth, one labeled happiness, one labeled glory. You have a key that will open happiness. Okay.
That's immediate.
You got it. And lastly, Solano Deo.
Solano chooses infinity.
Okay. The voice presents you a vision. You stand within a hall of mirrors, each mirror reflecting the image of the others. As your image is reflected in the mirrors, you see that each reflection of yourself is a little different. Suddenly, the images speak in your own voice. Touch me and become me. What do you do?
Wow.
I'm so glad I didn't choose that. That was my second.
They're thinking,
Like Zark would have just like crumbled and started crying.
so I'm in a hallway of mirrors, and they're basically just reflecting off of each other, and they all say to me, touch me and become part
But
of
they
me."
are slightly different. Yes, touch me and become me. So you could touch one that might look the strongest or the most beautiful, or close your eyes, touch one by chance, or not touch them at all, or something else.
I place my hand on my chest and I abstain from touching the mirror.
All right. Interesting.
Well, fate. He thinks, Solano's mind, fate has dictated he be here, and he has gotten here by being himself. Unless fate intervenes and says otherwise, he's not going to become someone different, possibly.
Okay. Suddenly, the objects before you fade, and a new set of items appear, and you hear the voice intone, choose that which you will be. You see an ankh, a candle, a pentagram, a sword, a cup, and a ring. Akanthi, which do you choose?
Candle.
The candle. Suddenly your vision is enshrouded in darkness, and you see 3 burning candles. Engraved in the stone floor are the words, "You must choose one." The yellow candle burns the brightest, the green candle burns the steadiest, and the brown candle burns dim but long. Which do you choose?
Green candle.
You take the green candle. Okay, okay. Shia,
I'm gonna pick the pentagram.
you find yourself in a dark purple room surrounded by 4 archways exposing only blackness beyond. One archway is carved from lapis lazuli into cloud shapes. One archway is carved from ruby into flame shapes. One archway is carved from jade into wave shapes. And the archway ahead is formed by unornamented black stones. Choose.
The jade with the waves.
Jade with the waves. You got it. Okay, okay. Saren, you see 6 symbols.
The sword.
The sword. In your vision, you see 3 swords that stand before you. One has a hilt of gold and jewels. One has a hilt of silver, strange runes engraved upon its blade. And the third has a hilt of jet, and the blade is black. Choose.
The jet sword.
Okay.
That didn't sound good.
It's kind of the coolest.
That
And
sounds
sword
cool.
starts talking to you.
It was the only way.
It's the Black Razor!
So the whole time, Versi is just kind of like moaning and humming and like bringing in these vapors, and her eyes are just kind of rolled in the back of her head. And Zark, you see these symbols floating around your minotaur horns.
I'm going back to the Ankh.
Okay. 3 huge stone statues stand before you. One is of a lion, one of a falcon, and one of a snake. Each of the statues speaks to you, saying, "Choose me, and I shall guide you." What do you do?
I would choose the lion,
You got it.
closest to my kind.
Wow. I was not expecting that turn of events. Solano Deo, you see these objects.
Oh yeah, we're all dead, guys.
We just summon the ultimate devil.
Yup.
Solano, in true Solano fashion, picks the choice that nobody else has chosen and goes for the ring.
You're ready for commitment, huh?
Yep.
On a
Well,
s-
I'm note-taking everything, and I've written down everyone's choices so far.
Oh, great. That's helpful because I might need to refer to them.
I got you. They called me the scribe.
Solano Deo.
Character.
A small round table appears in front of you with 4 rings. One ring is a plain silver band. One ring has many valuable gemstones embedded in it. One ring has a large ruby. One ring is made from woven straw and small flowers. Choose.
Ooh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Okay, Solano picks the one with straw and flowers.
Okay.
That's not the one to rule them all.
Doesn't matter. This is the prettiest ring.
Oh man, some of you are so close. Okay.
So close to dying.
So close to living.
Of course, to what?
Thy soul has been weighed.
Ooh,
No.
my soul's heavy.
Thou hast chosen thine own path, and by that path ye shall be judged. Let's see.
We just instantly die.
The first is that which was. We had some folks choose the heart. Is that right, Solano Deo?
Yep. Ashaya chose the heart.
The heart is the life, the blood, the soul of truth. It is the center of emotion and the dance of the universe. With the heart within, compassion and understanding fill you.
That's nice.
The Yonk. Did anyone choose the key for the first round?
No one chose key for the first round.
Okay.
But Zark did choose the Ankh first round.
The Yonk is life, wisdom, the union of male and female. It is the doorway to enlightenment. It is inner knowledge. With the Yonk within, you have harmony. With the Yonk within, you respect all living things. The pentagram is the magician, the earth, the keeper of secrets. It is protection. It is healing. With the pentagram at your center, you will be grounded, content with quiet knowledge. You delight in deeds of the mind. Did anyone choose cup first round?
I did.
Oh, yep.
The cup is the female, the water, the womb. It holds the wine of life. It holds the mysteries of the universe. With the cup in your past, you know the joy of living and the magic of love. The second of your choices is that which is. When the key is what is, then the key is knowledge. You have a strong desire to understand and a need to know. The key is what you want and what you do not have. The yin-yang symbol is the union of opposites, the balance of the universe. It is male and female. It is dark and light. You wrestle with your soul to attain this balance while you deal with a world of opposition. The infinity symbol is immortality. It is abstract thought. To choose infinity is to refuse to accept limitations in yourself or in others. You strive for perfection and you will not tolerate defeat. Who chose that one?
Solana.
Okay. And second round, I don't think anyone chose the ring or the fist. Is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
The third is that which will be. The Ankh. You allow your soul to guide your thoughts. You strive to bring harmony to this world. Your need to be one with the essential rightness of the universe will bring you no peace, yet it can bring peace to the world. The candle is the flame of life. You desire glory. Like a moth, you are drawn to the candle and may be consumed by its brilliance. Yet, the threat of death does not deter you, and you will do what you can to attain greatness. Did someone choose pentagram in round 3?
Yes, Ashaya.
It was Ashaya.
Magic, mystery, and the unknown entice you onward. You care deeply for security and comfort, but are driven by the need to understand. Curiosity is your greatest weakness and strength. The more knowledge you gain, the better you can determine your destiny. Cup?
I chose cup first round.
But someone chose sword, just third round.
I chose.
Sarin chose sword third round and first round.
Okay.
Yep.
Sword, you have chosen your path and strive to attain the power you seek. You will hone your body to its greatest extent and face the future ready to fight. The ring, as a sign of the future, reveals an unmet need. On one hand, you desire perfection in yourself. On the other, you wish to be recognized for the greatness you have. You allow the opinions of others to outweigh your own ideas. This will be both your bane and your glory. For all of you, you have proven yourselves that you are one with yourself and shall be what you have been. Your skills are in harmony with your nature. Let's see if this applies to anyone real quick. For Ashaya and Solano Deo, in your actions, you have defined yourself not by what you did, but what you did not do. You did not choose the most straightforward path. You refused to accept obvious answers and reject conformity. You have been judged worthy. And for Saren, as the only one, you did not choose actions guided by emotion. Your intellect overrides your feelings and you make decisions without sentimental bias. You have been judged worthy. And pretty much everybody except Saren. Yep, everybody except Saren. You have shown yourself to be straightforward, compassionate, and thoughtful in your actions. You avoid solutions that may cause harm to others. You have been judged worthy. And this one would apply to Akanthi and Zark. You prefer immediate solutions to those involving thought and weighing of options. Your action-oriented approach to problems enables you to move quickly in a crisis. You have been deemed worthy. Now,
Well, that's a relief.
Yay.
you have all gotten the standard treatment, but there is more that I have to offer the heroes of the Heartlands. You have seen and heard the things that I have seen, the visions of the end of Thylea. You will get more than a simple vision such as the one just provided, although that has proven to me that you are indeed the heroes of this prophecy. Please, let me give you something a little more personal. Who would like to get their reading first?
Well, there'd be easy takers.
I looked to Zark, and I'm like, Zark, you should talk first.
I mean, all right. I'm here to find the dragon that killed my mother, and that's. If you can help me find that dragon that killed my mother, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you just hear.
I'm not whispering to Solano. I am just straightforward talking.
Yeah, you just hear like you see Sauron's ears perk up when he hears dragon.
Ah, Zark, known for your power, your strength, you are a beauteous thing, you, but a flower cannot bloom if its stem wilts. So too must you, to see your destiny through, go to your divine parent, Pythor, now king of Estoria. He wallows in his wine and his grief, long having lost the luster of his glory days. You shall forge the weapon he could never wield, defeat his ancient foe, and save his true love.
Save.
In doing so, you shall walk a path that would allow you to outshine your father in heroism and perhaps even join him in godhood.
Either my mother is not his true love, or my mother's still alive.
Why there was a hole? Okay, that's a,
Are
well,
you
that's like a
still-
revelation, huh?
Are you taking questions? Are you done with me? we have more to talk about here.
No, is that,
Yes, your mother is indeed alive.
What the? Alright, I'm just gonna kind of like shut down for a little bit. And,
Okay.
Take a step back.
I
try
think
and
that's right.
process.
I'll let you know if it's not.
10 minutes later. Oh yeah, no, your mom's dead.
liar.
Be right back.
Wow.
Which of you heroes are brave enough to hear more truth of your lives?
Auntie will step forward.
Ah, Akanthi. Yes, I am pleased to have one with such a lofty destiny come before me. I see you are meant for greater things yet, to ride at the forefront of a flight of reborn dragons. But have you ever wondered the source of your great gifts? Pondered whence they came? I, Versi, shall reveal it to you. You and I, you see, are kin. My father, Lord of all, once loved a mortal sorceress. She was your grandmother. My father's sister wife, Lutheria, convinced him to murder his mortal lover. However, you must avenge her, and in doing so, her spirit shall guide you to your great destiny. Now, allow me to gift you something of hers, a memento that I know she would wish for you to have far more than I. And she gives you a locket. I just stuck it in your inventory. I think it went in. Let me just check. No, let me just. Oops, now I gave you two. Okay.
No, make it rain.
And yep, you should have it in your inventory. I'm trying to see if I can show it to everyone, but it doesn't look like I can. Not easily.
If you have it on the
The
object
amulet
list
that I
and you
gave her.
right click it,
So you all see me on the landing page, or is that
Oops.
just me?
That is just you. I
Yep.
would
I'm also on
try.
the landing page.
Oh yeah. No,
Mine.
we got Akanthi, Ashaya, and me in here.
Oh, I see.
Okay, all I
It's a
see
small.
Nice.
So you see a small locket that she hands to you.
looks more Egyptian. It looks nice.
there's a lot of overlap.
Yep. Yeah, this is a weird. People keep falling into this world, so it wouldn't surprise me, you know.
Another was a sorceress
Yes. Yes, she
who
was.
slept with
You see.
goddesses' husbands. You're giving me. Oh my goodness. The Conti is having a serious mental crisis right now.
I am your aunt.
I give her a bow, a respectful bow, as our people do to our family elders, a sort of forward bow.
I trust that locket will mean very much for you. Keep it close.
I put it on.
Okay.
Does it open? Is there anything inside?
It. No, not that I can see. I believe it's a simple locket that doesn't look like it has any personal markings or anything.
Looks cool.
and I go have my just over in a corner somewhere.
Okay. There are 3 left. She looks at Saren, at Solano Deo, and at Ashaya.
I guess I'll go next.
Oh. Solano Deo.
Yep.
My heart. The fates are cruel indeed to rip us apart so quickly after you have come to my rescue. Before I speak to you of your great destiny, I would ask you to swear an oath to me, here and now, that once you have accomplished your fate and prevent the doom of Thylea, that you will return to me and let our hearts forever sing as one.
Yes.
Say, I swear the oath, Solano Deo.
I, Solano Deo, swear the oath.
I've always had such a soft spot for mortals, but I had no idea what it meant to love, not truly, before I laid eyes upon you, Solano Deo. I shall speak now of your fate. You are destined to see your order rise once more. I see you once more wearing your famed armor and crown. You must retake them, seek them out in the necropolis at Telemach. Old friends wait for you there.
I nudge Solana Deo with my elbow, like winking at him.
I look back, and I'm like, I have, yes.
Ashaya, Saren.
Note of Telemach.
Yep.
Alright, you can go, Saren.
Fine. Okay. Walk up ahead.
Ah, Saren. I know this land and all of its strange customs have been difficult for you to adjust to. Fear not. I see your destiny is one bound in blood and glory. You shall be the bane of wicked worms that would torment mortals and fey alike. To become this glorious figure, and to right the wrong that was done to you and yours, you must seek out the one trapped in the fires of the great forge. She can provide insight into the weapon that is meant to slay the setting sun.
I'm just gonna assume she means the dragon. I'll think about it and just like walks off.
I guess I'll step forward.
And you see this sadness wash over her. Ah, Shia, most beautiful and haunted. My condolences for your loss, O haunted one. While I cannot see the fates that befell your loved ones, I can see their memory clinging to you like so many ghosts. I know now the silver light of dawn shielded you from the wrath that so terribly fell upon your family. Yet they need not haunt you phantom-wise forever. You may yet save your dearly beloved family, but to do so, you must retrieve the artifacts of your tribe. Seek out my sister, Demetria, where she dwells in the darkest part of the forest, for her servants have delivered to her a relic stolen from your fallen family.
And how will I know that it's her when I delve into this forest?
Well, she's the ugly sister.
Thank you.
Shia, like ugly inside or like ugly on the outside? I feel that's very up for debate there.
Yes, Demetria, she will... Let's see, she will probably invite you to dinner. So that would be a good sign. She often has a host of, I believe it's satyrs that tend to her. She is not as kind as me. Unlike her, I do not serve my father, Sidon. I hope you know that I am on your side. I have been a great advocate for the settlers, as well as the Fey races of Thylea, and I wish to see no harm done to this great land. I will keep tabs on you. You may see me from time to time. The end of the oath is near, and I have seen its prevention, the prevention of the destruction from your group. Kira, she turns to Kira. Please watch them closely. Don't just focus on your poem. Focus on our land. Now I will go to my chambers to retire, for the day has been long. I wish you the best of luck, heroes.
Thank you.
Oh wait, I might have totally forgot something. Let's see.
Select it all.
What? Sorry, Bob, you're like, yeah.
I'll
You
talk.
sound like you're in a rainstorm.
Oh, yeah, I did totally forget something because she has more to tell you.
Still stuck out.
Oh yes, I forgot the whole overall like group thing. I gave you all individual stuff. So she says, "Ah, yes. Perhaps my fatigue has overcome me, but you are indeed the heroes of the prophecy, and together you shall accomplish great things." She inhales another bit of vaporous fumes that surround her, and she says, "You warriors who stand here gathered will be tested. The fates have revealed 3 great tasks that must be accomplished before you are ready to sail into the 3 seas and face the Titans. You must shape the silver fires of the Lost Forge in order to craft the tools that you will need. You must claim the mighty weapons wielded against the Titans by the first Dragonlord, and you must drink deep from the bottomless dragon horn, for it will reveal a vision I cannot see. But woe unto thee, for I have seen the end of all things. My father's anger cannot be quelled, and his sister schemes even now. Your quest may yet fail, and, if it should, the sky will rain black fire, and the doom of Thylea will come. And with that, the vapors grow and thicken and soon fade, and the oracle is gone. So, let me direct all of your attention. Has anyone seen the quest log?
Nope.
No, but what I
Yeah,
was asking Solano was, hey, can you talk to Carl? Because he was clutch in that last fight. Like, see if he can, like, come along on the adventure with us.
I think he's places he. Okay.
As much as I would like that to happen, I think Carl is
You
meant
like,
to help protect the Versi here.
Makes sense. Maybe he's meant to protect us, though.
On my own way.
So, are you asking Carl?
Do we really want to Aladdin this?
no, I think it's just leave the thing there.
I
It's like
want to
he's
make
done
sure.
enough.
I want to make sure I have Versi to return to leave. So I'm gonna leave. Yeah. So the trouble with Carl is he is very picky with who he serves, and he is oath bound to Versi. He cannot leave. So, as much as great as that would be, it is not an option we have at the time.
So, out of character chat, real quick, if you click on the, looks like it's journal entries. It's kind of in the middle of the top menu.
Fifth one from the left.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if it's sixth one from the left for me, so I didn't want to say anything.
Giant block of cheese.
Yep.
Do you
That's what I was. I was thinking bread, but yeah, I could see cheese.
It looks like a triangle to me.
Well, do you see at the bottom, does it say quest log?
Yep.
The green button quest log.
And then you
Yeah,
should be able
I'm
to
still-
see under the in progress. Do you guys see that? No?
No. Oh, yeah.
see
In
progress.
progress, I've got 0, 0.
Yeah, it's just like one of your active quests basically.
Claim the weapons,
Oh, yeah, so you
Drink
do
the
see all
corn.
those.
light the fires. Yep.
Okay, so you should have 3 that you all share, and then each of you should have an individual one that just basically recaps what Versi has told you, so you don't have to take copious amounts of notes.
Yeah, I only see
Amazing.
is one.
I appreciate that.
You only see one?
Yeah. In progress, I only see one.
Did you complete the others? That'd be amazing.
Yeah. No. Those are the basic ones. You should have them too. Defeat boar.
Oh no.
Defeat coyote.
You don't have the personalized one?
All I have is the personalized one. That's the only one I have.
Oh.
Yeah. Still outside the map.
Oh, I think you're on completed. I see defeat Boar, meet Kira, meet the Oracle, but if you click on the little tab above that, it says in progress. You should have in progress ones.
Yeah, I only see is one active quest.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the other ones are active. But anyway, those are editable, so anyone that wants to be the quest person, or you could all edit them, whatever you want to do, but they should...
Because I'm not in the map is the problem.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. It's fun staring at a blank screen.
It's okay. We're going to be moving maps soon. So you all are in the Temple Grotto. You're welcome to relax. It's pretty late. It is approaching midnight on the 4th of Sidion. So yeah, she says you could stay, for the night. There's the attendants' beds upstairs. Most of them aren't going to be using them tonight.
Some of them were murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we
Huh?
stay in this like little grotto and like I'll
You
pull
can.
some stuff out to,
I'm
and
gonna
then
mess with
just
this
kind of like ask Carl like, hey, watch over, wake, like nudge us if
It's
something
dark.
Can I
happens.
rifle through this bag?
Yeah. It's
Can
like,
you
I
rifle
wanna-
through what? Hold on.
Have we?
Yeah, the sea hag. If you double click her, him, her, it.
Yeah, I took the jewel. If I can't remember, I took the.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it was a jewel, right, or crystal?
Yep.
There's
pearl.
a pearl. It doesn't
There
look
was a
like
letter.
I
well-
tried taking it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll add the pearl
They're
to
still
your.
there.
Yep, I'll see if I can add the
Okay.
pearl to your inventory, Sarah.
Akanthi would be happy to have a nap,
Yes, I.
or perhaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It-
make those corpses take their weapons.
Does anyone want the parchment from the sea hag that said Helika's note on it?
We've got it in our
it.
appendices, so we've
Yeah.
read
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So it's just, yeah, basically not.
Now it's Sidon that is my grandfather, right?
Correct.
Rio don't want him as a grandfather. Worst one to have as grandfather.
So it's up to you guys if you want to
Yeah.
go upstairs and sleep or.
Things
stay
just
here.
got really complicated in a lot of ways.
Can't choose if your grandfather's a
According to like
William.
a whole backstory, just like, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I was like some of you were
Complicated.
getting really into your backstory, and I was like, just wait and let it develop.
Oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
just complicated everything so
yeah.
much.
I think my thing's pretty.
QTM.
I think nothing really changed if I gave you the backstory that much. It's like he was still gonna do what he was gonna do either way, you know.
So, yeah, after the sea hag and the water weird are defeated, this place is fairly safe. Carl seems relaxed, but he is also on the lookout. Versi heads off to her little personal area, and she is off. She's gone.
Again, if Carl will watch out for us, I say we stay here.
Yep.
All right.
Otherwise,
So
we're on our own.
Sure. So everyone go ahead and take a long rest.
did we hear each other's
No, we were all high at the same time.
Well, no. The visions you did not
no,
see
that,
each
that was
other's,
our vision.
but she did share the personal stuff with everyone. So yes, you all heard each other's. Yeah, everyone knows that your grandpa is Sidon.
So was I
Okay,
the
that's
only
great.
one that wasn't blessed? I mean, the only one that got the bad one? It was like everyone except Sauron or something.
Oh no, there was just several of them that were all based on the choices that you made, and you had made one choice that was.
Probably bad.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't bad. It was, I think, witty and intelligent, and nobody else had made it one of the witty, intelligent options. So
Yeah, it's just like, where the hell am I? You know?
that doesn't make it bad.
Yeah, it's just like.
Akanthi will never be witty or intelligent.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like my character's. I would say I'm intelligent, even though I'm a 10. Basically, 10 intelligence is just like basic intelligence, you know?
Well, the point is nobody failed because there was a fail option.
I don't know
And
how
he
someone could
mentioned
fail that.
that we were
I guess
close.
she's intelligent and charismatic. She's witty.
I would like to, before we take a nap, I'd like to speak to Akanthi and just kind of
Yeah, no.
see how she feels. Akanthi, I heard about the whole grandfather being Sidon. How does that make you feel? Akanthi?
Are you on mute, Morningbird? Maybe she can't hear us.
Oh no.
She
Well-
got kicked. She side down has claimed her.
I'm gonna go back to the center and abandon everything that I was about to do. So yeah, get
Okay.
take a nap.
She might be just glitching again with her internet.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, everyone takes a long rest.
So, yep. Now
Wow.
we got our classes and their new hit points.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Ashaya needed that so bad.
1 hit point. And she's she's gone.
So it's a good time, it looks like, with Ashaya and Kanthi trying to get reconnected. If folks want to take a break, I think we could take a fiver.
I was like, why are you guys being so quiet?
Yeah. Sometimes you
on?
gotta remember if you put on your mic.
So Akanthi, Zark's actually gonna
So we're
come up
taking
to
a break?
you.
Yes.
5-minute break.
Okay.
So
Alright.
I just want to talk about. Okay, so we can just talk without her.
Sure.
So, I was going to talk about subclasses. So who's the?
And so
who's the
Zark's
paladin?
going to come
Welcome back to Odyssey of the Dragonlords, where the heroes just heard their fate from the Oracle. You have all taken a long rest. It is about 7 a.m. on the 5th of Sidian, and you are in the Temple Grotto, where steam rises from the nice warm bath of a river streaming all around you. You see Carl stretch his carpet fibers. Kira is just kind of fiddling with her instruments. And she says, "Good morning. Sleepyheads."
I nod politely.
Good morning.
Just like we can finally get out of here now.
It's not so bad.
Don't want to. It's too steamy in here, or too cold, basically.
But that helps exfoliate your skin.
Makes the armor most uncomfortable.
Yes, I understand.
Hey guys, Kira says, "What's a rogue's favorite medium armor?"
Is it hide?
It's hide! Good job, Solano Deo. You got it. Inspiration.
Can't use sneak attack on her.
This is gonna get old.
Yeah, I can't stab her. It won't work.
Hey, for future reference, Jeff, where do I find the long rest and short rest buttons?
Yep, I did it for you, but yes, on your sheet, right next to your hit points under hit dice, there's a S.rest and a L.rest.
Gotcha, thank you.
Also,
You're welcome.
If you select your character under utility, there's short and long rest.
Awesome, thank you.
Lots of options.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys stretch. Maybe you rinse your mouth out with some of the steamy water that's got all kinds of vitamins in it, I'm sure. And yeah, you are feeling like you're ready to move. Do you guys head back up?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very sweaty down here.
Yeah.
Smell, because this is horrible.
And this is that huge map. Oh, maybe I think I can.
Yeah, she's got a new computer. She can probably handle it
Not a
now.
new computer.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. No.
I set it up.
Oh, come on. I saw the 100. Why is everything gray
Yeah.
still? And that's selected.
Still loading. Oh,
I can see.
I can't see
I
anything.
got AAZ still.
I still see a gray screen.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to restart my.
It still doesn't like it.
No, it is a big map, but we're not spending much time here, so I'm just going to move you all to the center, and you can talk to Proteus, who stops you on your way out of the temple. And he, this older man says, "Thank you so much, heroes. I assume it went well. I'm gonna have to visit the Oracle and check with her. Please tell me she's okay."
Yeah, she's fine.
Nice. Very nice.
Defeated the creatures.
Yes,
What should I name her?
I'm afraid that there are some ways around the oath, and some creatures, as long as they're not directly asked by the Titans themselves, they seem to be able to get by without breaking the
but-
oath.
They were,
They were.
aren't they? I take out the parchment that I grabbed.
Oh. he reads it thoughtfully. He says, "This is alarming. Perhaps this is why the great boar, why the hag, perhaps this is why the oath has been so fragile lately. I'm afraid this means that doom is on the horizon. Well, heroes, the future of Thylia may be bleak, but there is always hope. The people of this land will look to your actions as a sign of things to come. Seek neither fame nor fortune, but show them the true meaning of heroism. Make yourselves a beacon of light as we enter this time of darkness, and go with the blessing of this temple." And he hands Akanthi, since he's standing by you and you just gave him that parchment, a token, a coin actually. Let me see if I can. So this coin seems to be a Dragonlord coin. It's it has the face of Xander Horath on one side, and an engraving of a legendary ship called Ultros on the reverse. And the coin emits a faint golden light. And I will add that Akanthi to your items. So you have a Dragonlord coin. And he says, "And please, follow me to my chambers. I can award you each some potions of healing. I believe I have 6 of them."
This will be handy. Does he give me back my parchment? Does he give me back my note?
Yes. And when you guys were up here, there were 6 in here, but there's only 5 now. Did everyone get one? Did I add them to sheets?
I did not get one.
Okay, let me make sure you all get.
We were able to actually take
Okay.
one. I think there's 5.
Did anyone use them?
Okay, what are you talking about? Potions?
Potion of healing. You should have grabbed one before you went downstairs.
Yeah, I may have used 2 of them, so.
Okay.
Right when I-
So if
I
you
used- Yeah.
if you use
I have one on
2,
my sheet now.
what's that?
Oh, I have one on my sheet now, so I'm good.
Okay, so that's 2, that's 3, because I just added one
I
to Soul.
don't have.
I
think
see.
have
I
one.
see one in Zark. That's 4. I see.
Don't have one.
You don't have one, so let me add one for you. 5. And Ashaya, did you get one or use one?
I got one. I never used it.
Okay, you have one. Perfect. That's 6. All right. So he makes sure you all have your potions of healing. And he wishes you.
Didn't.
Hmm?
Go ahead. Sorry.
He wishes you the best of luck. And he heads back to clean up some of the mess of the dead bodies and honoring the dead. And you see him starting to put coins and working with the last, some of the attendants that are still alive for honoring those that have fallen, the attendants anyway. And then Kira brings you all over to her, and she says, okay, guys, listen up, focus, eyes here. Listen to me. Forget what Proteus said. This is your chance to win fame beyond your wildest dreams. You want fame, right? Of course you do. All great heroes want fame. Fame is the path to immortality. These great labors are only the beginning. The path ahead of you will be filled with opportunities for winning fame. If you truly manage to rise to your fate and confront the Titans, then poets will sing of your deeds for ages to come.
That's not why I'm here, though, Kira.
But it's a bonus, Solano Deo.
It's a bonus I will forfeit on to Carl. There's a scope wider to this world, and I think you lack that kind of vision.
So, in game, there is fame mechanics, and I will share it with you all. So, you are all at.
1.
Actually, I would say that. Yeah, you're probably at 2. So, we'll say you're at 2.
That's gonna be a problem.
Why
You
is
probably
that?
shouldn't. You gave us free drinks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll do some con saves if your character has a drinking problem.
You just like steal a keg barrel. It's mine.
So she also tells you that there's one tiny problem. Okay, the tricky thing about fame is if you're not careful, one hero might outshine the others. Then all the stories will be about that one hero and how strong and valiant they are, and all the rest of you will be like yesterday's news. Kind of like the whole Taneus situation, if you guys remember. There's already songs about Taneus. They're calling him the Scout of Destiny.
That's unfortunate.
What?
Goat or goat?
Scout, yes. And all the rest of you will be yesterday's news. Now, so I encourage you to swear right now together an oath of fellowship. This is a sacred oath that will bind you together in the spirit of solidarity. When one of you wins fame, all of you will share it. And who knows, perhaps the magic of the oath will even protect you against some of the dangers that lie ahead. Are you guys ready for that?
Do we have to?
If fate decrees it so, then I'm ready.
Yes.
I think it's fair if all of us share in the fame. If it
Yeah.
does happen.
He doesn't just. Yeah. He doesn't like oats because he knows what they cost in this place. He's like, but at least as long as it doesn't have disadvantage it, they'll use it basically. It's not like you break it, you'll turn into a snail.
Okay, well, you all know how oaths work. So, in order to share this oath, it's even better if you are able to say it together. Come on, team. And she's kind of like putting on her like best like little cheerleader kind of attitude.
Do we really have to?
We'll do it on the count of 3.
We're gonna butcher the hell out of this.
Yeah. All
Yes,
at the same time.
You're not
Ashaya.
wrong.
She's like, yeah, Shia, I'll count us down. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. She's like, you guys are the heroes of the Heartlands.
You need to give us what the oath should be so we can say it at the same time. No oath means we don't know.
Okay, so check out the chat window in Foundry. But I am, and then you say your name. I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the truth and fellowship with the warriors who stand at my side. That's how it goes.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'm going to count us down again. Ready, focus, eyes here. You guys know it. Here we go. 3. Focus up. Zark, over there. What are you looking at? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
I,
I
Sonata,
I
swear
swear
my
on
and I
life.
swear upon my life.
swear upon my
and
life
I
and
swear
honor
upon
that I
the
will
warriors who
hold
stand
the
at my
oath
side.
with the warriors who stand at my side.
Wow. That was totally in sync, guys.
Well, that was horrible.
We're gonna get an Emmy for that.
Y'all know that oaths are kind of a big deal, right? Like what you just did. You
Yep.
share the fame, and that means you guys could drink together for free now.
Hmm.
So, go for fame. Forget about what Proteus said. And, yeah. Perhaps we should do a toast. I don't have any drinks. Well, where are we going? And she looks at you guys like she's just ready to get out of there.
Why exactly are you following us?
Oh, you didn't know that I am going to be the best, most epic bard ever by writing the best, most epic poem ever, and you are going to be the stars of the poem. You're the Versi's, the oracle's the prophesied ones, and I'm going to follow you around and write the best poem ever, and people will sing about your triumphs for ages to come.
What if we don't want you to follow?
What if you don't want me to follow?
Hey,
Yeah,
if,
can't you just like stay at the tavern and we'll tell you what happens?
Yeah.
Well, you see, I've been writing vigorous notes, and when the action's happening, it is really hard to like get things right if you are not, writing notes at the time. So you could try to get rid of me. It's probably not gonna happen. I'm pretty.
I'm inclined to keep Versi around simply due to the. I mean, not Versi, to keep Kira around simply due to the fact that she has a connection to Versi.
Oh yeah, me and Versi go way back. Okay, guys, tell you what. I am just so happy.
I'm sorry, guys.
I am just so listen, I've already been working on it. Are you willing to hear at least the it's a work in progress. You got to give me some wiggle room, but do you want to hear how it's going? The epic poem?
No,
No.
no. Listen, we're trying to live our lives. If you want to write a song,
Perhaps
verse
while
about
we
it,
are walking to our destination.
like I don't.
She's
do
more of
you.
a hindrance more than
You do
anything.
you.
We don't want her around.
A hindrance? Did you not see me use my last scroll of resurrection on poor Ashaya when she was blasted with water against the wall and her feathers were just. It was so heartbreaking. And guess
I'm
what?
pretty sure she'll join us anyways, even if we disagree with her actions.
I don't know. It's like I really don't want her
Oh
followers.
my gosh, mortals are so whiny.
See, I knew
I can't
it.
really
Yeah,
say
we're-
no.
Kira?
If she did revive
Yeah.
me.
I mean,
Question
I'm
for
whiny
you.
too at times. I get it.
Yeah,
Because
it's like
I'm.
you're not the most obvious. It's like you're the most very obvious what you are.
The best songwriter in the land.
No, there's something in the middle of that.
The
Something
best.
starting with a G.
The best gosh darn songwriter in the land.
No.
Okay,
No.
I'm going to sing it for you guys. Are you ready? How does a bastard, orphan, son of Pythor, and a siren dropped in the middle of the forgotten spot in the heartlands by Providence impoverished in squalor grow up to beat the Titans like a baller?
You called me a bastard.
That's very interesting. That's an interesting style.
Yes, it's
Sound-
a little.
sound-
It's called hip hop musical. It'll come into style later.
Can we work on your language, Kira?
Okay, you didn't like the bastard part,
Okay, that's
but that's great because if I hang out, then I can run these little things by you, and we can figure it out together, and it'll be you'll have a say in the songs because sometimes people write songs about heroes based on hearsay. You don't want that.
So, are you gonna put our names in like the whole co-writers of this song, or are you just gonna take all the credit?
Oh, I would love to give you credit. I would love for the entire. I mean, obviously, number one, save Thalia. Everyone knows we're gonna save Thalia. But fame.
I mean, it is true, Zark. Do you want to be known as a bastard if you don't have her join us?
Yeah, but
Ugh.
Kira, I have questions for you.
Yes.
If I offer you funny poem, song, limerick thing, can you promise to use magic in fights when we almost die?
Magic. I am just a simple bard. I don't know.
Some bards have magic.
Kira.
pretty sure all bards are now.
you are a bard that references us as mortals.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk real here, Kira.
Okay, let's talk real. I know a lot about Thalia. I've been lying to you. For example, do you know which body of water that you get bonuses to sail across?
Bonuses?
The proficiency. The proficiency.
So
She's
where are we?
flooding us with jokes.
Where are we going?
That's a great question. I think that Kira like claps her hands. She says, "I think we should probably head to Estoria. It's a little settlement, and Zark, you could meet Pythor. He's hanging out there, and the Shrine of the Dragonlords are there. I think
Why don't you
that's
just start with that? Let's go.
okay.
You can walk and talk.
Sure, you can walk and talk.
Talk, not sing. We can walk and talk.
Which one's the whisper slash something?
It sounds like you guys want
Slash
to
W.
keep secrets from me, but poor Zark put his stream on Twitch in the Discord.
Yeah,
So
I
no.
just didn't want. I didn't want to interrupt you, and I knew.
I don't
Sarah
think we were
wasn't
keeping secrets.
able
We
to
were just
see
having
it.
a side conversation.
Yeah,
I just
I
can't
didn't want to
remember.
interrupt you, and it was something that I was trying to have earlier.
No, it's good. I'm not really paying that much attention. Okay. So from
So
where?
much that you're not paying attention that you've noticed it.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to make it to where it wasn't my main screen.
Oh, it's all good. No, Saren couldn't see.
Oh,
so I
grid.
forgot to
There I go.
pop it up.
Cool. So, you start to make your way, and it's early morning now. You all have rested, and it's some travel as you go to. Oh, did you just get rid of the stream? Sad.
Yeah, you want me to put it back on?
It's fine. So.
You were using it for the stream, huh?
So yeah, you're walking and talking. What are you guys talking about?
To me, like, I'm just completely confused as to what just happened. I thought my mother was dead. A dragon took her off. I don't even know. Like, I didn't.
Checking out my
didn't think
glowing
I'd ever
coin.
seen
It's kind of
my
cool.
mother.
Yeah, your coin is cool. I don't know if you checked it out in your
Not
inventory, but
Foundry.
there was a little time spent in Photoshop on that one.
It's like you did immediately. Bitch.
Photoshop coin.
So yeah, you're pondering your mother.
Yeah,
Are you pondering
Dark
aloud?
Mother.
Oh yeah. My mom was supposed to be dead as far as I knew. Like, my mother is dead, and Pythor just hasn't even cared, and this is all just, I just don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But also, she called me the most
You
beauteous
can't
thing.
hear Zark at all.
And yeah, I'm beautiful. That's all I got.
Okay. So you're walking along. Let's see what the weather's like. Oh, it is mostly clear, but you do notice the wind picking up a bit. And I think Akanti's audio and mic was off. Weren't you, Zark, trying to talk to her previously?
Yeah, well, it's all been said now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Kira's kind of bouncing
Chatting.
along.
I don't know, like. Can you? Okay.
You hear her humming the same beat. If anyone has watched Hamilton, you know where that came from.
Yeah, I knew what the song was, and it's like, nope.
So she kind of whispers to herself, "What can I say except you're welcome?"
That was rock solid performance.
She's like, "Thank you, Solano Deo." Are you guys? Did I activate the landing page? Oh my gosh.
There we go.
I was gonna say, you guys were like still hanging out somewhere else. So you're moving along, and you notice that, yeah, Kira's just kind of bouncing along with you. She seems in a great mood. She's kind of scribbling and writing and jotting notes. Um, and you guys are talking probably about the Oracle and all of the things. Does anyone have any questions? Or are you guys talking about the quests that are coming to you?
I'm gonna ask Zark to take a closer look at that amulet and show him my queen. Sort of bidsies.
Showing who?
Zark.
Zark.
Okay. So yes, you see this coin with Xander Horath on one face of it, and on the back, the legendary ship known as the Ultros.
And honestly, I
I
pulled
can't
this
hear
off.
his reply, unfortunately. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Right click.
Hear you.
She's not gonna be able to see it, but tell her to right click my portrait and turn the volume up.
Yeah, if you right-click his portrait, you might be able to adjust his volume or unmute him if he might be muted.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I will relay what he says.
Oh, Molly. Okay, that'd be lovely.
So I'm gonna let her know that I'm not sure where this amulet came from. I took it off of a body, and I just know about your past, and I'm not sure if you wanted it.
I'm not sure where this amulet came from. I took it off a body, and I know your past. Is that what you said?
Yep.
I know your past. I'm not sure if you wanted it.
What does it look like, DM?
The amulet, I'm not even sure what you guys are talking about.
So I have an
amulet of Sidon.
Ah, yes, the amulet of Sidon. So if
I'm curious about Sidon now that I know that he's my grandfather.
yeah, absolutely. So if you look at this letter from Helica on the bottom right corner is the symbol of Sidon.
That symbol.
Yeah, so it's a symbol. It's a amulet that looks like that. It's most of the Order of Sidon seems to have some sort of like single third eye kind of deal or cycloptic eye type of thing going on.
And it's just normal metal, some kind of
Probably.
wood, or what material is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me open up his sheet. What material is it?
Sorry.
That's all right. It's
It
probably
matters
it's bronze. It's a
Bronze.
bronze symbol.
Yeah. Bronze.
Oh, I could probably maybe I can't show that one. Let me see if I can find it and show it in the Oh, no. I just added it, I guess, separately. Here's what I can do. I'll throw it here, and then I will view item artwork and show. Hey, there we go. How's that?
Nice.
3 eyes.
3 eyes.
Something like that. So what's going through Akanthi as she's checking out this symbol of Sidon, who she just recently learned is her grandfather?
I will show as Zark in kind of hushed tones that the queens of the Amazon are very devoted to oh god. Queens, Lutheria, yeah, and that I I had not realized until I left the Amazon I really only just left for the first time last week that was considered I don't know, bad? Because
Okay.
it's so she's like normal in my clan because the queens are so into her. And and where I grew up, we kind of learned to be in the military from a young age, and we follow orders and just don't question things like that much.
Well,
So now, the goddess that my clan venerates ordered my grandmother murdered. I heard none of this. My mom didn't tell me any of this stuff, so it's all very strange to me.
Okay.
So I'm like totally opening up to dude for this
To Zark.
amulet, but I still don't want to keep the amulet. I'm like push it back to him.
Okay.
yep. No, I will. Like I said, I'm gonna put this back in the pouch. I'm gonna put it in my bag.
He puts
and
it away.
When you decide what you want to do with it, we will deal with it all together.
He says when you decide what you want to deal with it, we'll deal with it together.
Yeah.
Okay. You all, as you're walking along the trail heading northwest, you also notice that Ashaya is walking with her wings over her head. Her shoulders are kind of vibrating a little in that classic sign of someone who's been crying or is crying. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I mean, I'm deep
Tara, I
in
was just
conversation
hoping
with
someone else would
Akanthi.
take a turn.
Like, me and Akanthi are deep in conversation.
Nobody said
about her
anything.
grandfather, like,
Sorry about your
I'm
luck,
not
Ashaya.
doing this.
Hang on. Shia, are you okay?
I'm a little down under the weather.
What's wrong? Besides the fact you're being rained on, we're being rained on.
Yeah, we're all being rained on. I heard that up there.
I mean, that was really just my first time dying. It took a lot out of me just to kind of think back about what I couldn't possibly do if I would ever see my tribe again.
I have a story
Well,
I wish to share with you. It is more of parable. Farmer
Okay.
has goat. Goat dies. Instead of cutting up goat for meat, buries goat. Goat decomposes in ground as normal. Supply nutrients to the soil. More things are able to grow. Where this goat was buried because it fed the land. So we giveth, so we taketh away is the saying. You were given a life, it was taken away, but you were able to come back. Something grew in your absence, and it was you as a whole person once again. It is simply not the end. You see, we spend too much time worrying about gold, wine, making new song, if you are bard. I do not think that we have scope to understand what is into Stars and Beyond. Fate dictates, and I'm going to say this a lot, so you're going to have to get used to it. Fate dictates what they want, and we simply go and we just float down the river. Unfortunately, we must have hit the rock and you fell off, but we got you back, and for that I am most thankful. But just remember, this is not the end. And remember that there's going to be more difficult things ahead, but none of us have another place to go. We simply are just all here together. So I understand that losing yourself in this mortal world and having to come be thrust back in is uncomfortable, is frightening to think of and experience. I don't have a similar feeling to call upon, but I certainly am glad you're back. Just know that we are all here. Whatever we are doing, we're in this together. And also know that we are stuck with the bard.
So as you guys continue to walk along, you notice the wind picking up quite a bit. You're still some ways away from Astoria, and it's just getting worse. You actually find yourselves leaning in just to get steps forward, and it's becoming very difficult, and you're starting to realize that you have to shout very loudly in order to communicate and talk, even though you're right next to one another.
Can I look for a place of shelter?
Yeah, you look around. You're still in kind of the heartlands, and Kira is looking around too, and she's like shouting. She says, "Just up the way, there's a family I know. We should go there for shelter."
I'll take her word for it. She hasn't steered us wrong thus far.
Okay, everyone else good with that?
Yep. Lead on.
Okay. So you see in the distance, as the wind continues to blow you guys around, that there's a small little hut in what appears to be a vineyards. And as she approaches the hut, all the doors and shutters are closed. And she knocks on the door. And you see the door kind of crack open. You see this kind of a muscular man kind of peer open the door. And as soon as he sees Kira, he opens the door wide. And he's huge, just big muscles, big old smiling face with a beard. He says, "Kira, get in here from the wind. I see you brought friends." And he yells, he says, "Pelagia, put some tea on." And invites you all in. And as soon as you shut the door, the wind dies down. And we're going to go hang out at the Lillotti cabin. See how this works out here. I don't know why.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you get into the cabin. And I lost my cheat sheet. Okay. So yes, he hugs Kira, and she's just delighted to see them. The two kids run up, and she says, "Okay. I know thanks for the tea, but hold on, I got to introduce you guys." And before she even does, the big man says, "Kira, the heroes from the Heartlands, we have heard already." And the little boy, just his eyes get big, and he says, "My name is Pericles Lillotti. Let me introduce you to my family. This beautiful woman is Pelagia Lillotti." And you see this beautiful woman. She's actually sitting at the harp, playing this lovely tune. And he says, "My boy, 12 years old. This is Erotas Lillotti." And he's just like looking at you, just wide eyes, and he's like, he's kind of nervous. It's nice to meet you. I'm gonna be a warrior like you one day. And he's just kind of like beaming and excited, and his father pats his back, and he's like, "And my youngest, Ora Lillotti. She's quiet, but she masters every instrument she touches. We think she is blessed by the gods." And you just see this little girl with big eyes looking up at you. Says, "Please, now that you are sheltered from the storm, come, have some tea, rest a bit." And in this cabin, it feels like time has stopped. There's just this slow swinging lantern that kind of hints at the winds outside, but the hut itself has this warm light, and you could see urns and farming tools hanging by as Pelagia is pouring tea for each of you.
It's a nice place you have.
And Pelagia looks at you. She says, "Thank you. I'm not sure I've served tea to your kind." And she looks at you like genuinely and says, "It seems you've been carrying a lot from the looks of it," as she just looks at your tired eyes from crying.
Yeah, something of the sort. But no matter. Someone to cheer me up.
Well, Pelagia says, "If it's not too forward, I think sometimes it's okay to visit with sadness, if you don't mind. I'd like to not simply treat it as no matter, and instead play a song perhaps that invokes the feeling."
That's fine.
And she gets
I have
on.
one request,
Yeah.
that you do it solo.
I don't think I have this one. I haven't prepped it. So it's just a beautiful song.
I'm just a little weary that somebody else might want to join in.
Oh, I see
I
what
would
you're
like
saying.
for you to just do it yourself.
And I don't even have Kira. I gotta bring Kira in. So
No, you don't. You left out there in the whole storm.
so Kira looks at you, and she just kind of smirks knowingly, and you just make eye contact with her, and you see this. She's like, "Okay, Zark, I'll stay out of it."
But
And
you want other musicians to be able to play their tune, right?
I do, and Pelagia is the best harpist that I know.
And how would you like it if I joined in on your tunes?
Please, let us give Pelagia the respect she deserves. And she jumps on the harp. And especially for Ashaya, you feel with each string plucked that she is plucking at your heartstrings. You feel that the song, even though it's without words, that it is invoking the very experience that you had gone through, the thinning of the veil, the glimpse of the dark side with all of the loss of your life just weighing on you, and also the joy of releasing it, all packaged into this sorrowful, slow, agonizing yet beautiful song that goes on for about 5 minutes. And even the children, they had stopped. They seem respectful. They know exactly what this moment means as they see, especially you, Ashaya, have a reaction to this. And what is your reaction?
Just a lot of tears going down her face, but she does have a smirk on her face.
And after Pelagia gets done playing, she too seems to have been crying while she's played, and she goes, "Well, now that we've visited, perhaps we should have some tea and speak of some other things."
Yeah, yes, that sounds nice.
So she pours you all some tea, and you could just tell that Kira is. They have a relationship, right? This family knows Kira. She's just kind of like the fun aunt or sister, and And yes, there's a big wooden table, and soon, just after pouring tea, you see Pelagia uh, lighting candles and kind of setting the table for food and drink. You see some wine coming out. And Pericles, with his big arms, even though he's huge, he definitely presents as a humble farmer. He says, "Please, tell us of your deeds."
I think Kira could.
And Kira's like, they've heard all of my tales so far. I think they would love. And Erotus, the little 12-year-old boy, interrupts, and he pulls at some of your weapons, especially Uzark, and he's looking at your horns too, and kind of tugging at your weapon. And he says, "Will you show me how to fight? We could use the living room." And Pericles laughs. He's like, "Please, I will move the chair. Young Erotas is very, very excited to use his combat skills."
Erotus, do you have wooden swords?
And he doesn't even say anything. You just see his head like bobbing up and down excitedly, and he runs off into a far corner and comes back with these kind of crudely carved swords. One's slightly bigger than the other. He says, "I play with my sister all the time, but I have to be gentle with her. Do I have to be gentle with you?"
Do you have a shield?
"Shield?" And he runs off again, and you see him come back with just kind of, it looks like it was the lid of a toy chest that he's just put a strap on.
You don't have to be gentle with me. I want you to come at me with full force, and I want you to show me what you got.
And he looks to his dad, and his dad's just big and smiling and just kind of nods, and he says, and he gets his shield ready, and he kind of looks nervous, and he's prepared, and he's like, come at you, are you sure?"
Come at me.
And you see he just like kind of drops the shield to his side. He's still holding it, but it's off to his side, and he's just full, like just like a chop, like a axe chop, just straight over his head, coming right at your belly.
The first one I'm gonna like parry it and kind of push his arm away, and the second one I'll let him hit me with it.
Okay, so yeah, the first one he moves off to the side, careful not to hit his sister. Then he comes back at you, and you hear a little cling as his small arms make contact with your armor, and he looks at you scared. He kind of drops the weapons, and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Do not ever be sorry. If you're gonna be a warrior like your father, you don't be sorry.
"Like my father, he's a farmer."
Well, he looks to be the part of a warrior.
Yes,
Does
he
he
has
not-
strong arms,
is he-
but he does not fight in any wars.
Never?
And Pericles kind of looks and he says, "My family is too much for me to put my life on the line in such tragic wars. This land has seen too much, and I'm afraid with the end of the oath coming near, we will see much more. I try to spend as much time with my family as I can, in fear of losing them any day."
Well, I feel that the best offense, great defense, and you should be protecting your family from here. That does not mean that he should not learn how to fight.
"I completely agree. Erotus, pick up your shield, pick up your sword. Let this hero from the Heartlands teach you more." And the boy excitedly grabs it, and he says, "Can we do it again?"
So at this point, I'd like to kind of like start showing him like steps and how to hit and like when to bring up the shield and just kind of go on our little training combat.
Okay. So you guys continue your training as the meal gets prepped. It's pretty slim in terms of a meal goes, but there's bread. There's each plate does have some meat, but it tends to be pretty sparse. Obviously, there's grapes and wine because they are on a vineyard. And Pelagia, as she's preparing the last bits of the meal, she says, "Ora, honey, please play some music." And you see this very small girl, 7 years old. Um, she grabs an instrument and starts to play, and she sings as well. You hear this innocent voice singing about the stars and how they guide travelers and voyagers by ship. And she ends the song, and it's just kind of like this innocent kid song. And then she goes on to another song just before dinner's ready, and there's no words to the song, but it actually stops you, Zark, and Arotis while playing in the living room. You both stop, and everyone just feels this pull back to their youth. It's this song of innocence to a time where maybe life felt peaceful, felt quiet, full of respite. And I want each of you to share what memory from your youth does your character experience in that moment while little Aura plays her music.
Well, Zark, as he was playing and teaching, rests his hand on Erotis' shoulder and just says, "This reminds me of my youth when I was bullied from being different. I was being told that I was different, and I was accepted into an order that taught me the same things that I'm teaching you today." And looks down at Erotis.
Akanthi remembers when she was young, the girls would take, and they had this game they would play with the sticks that made, it was a combat practice, but they made rhythms with them, kind of, and like danced with them. Game that they all the girls would play together
Yeah,
when they were little.
nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Ashaya?
Ashai will see memories of her people all flying in the sky and landing near the seas and singing happy songs to each other.
Beautiful. Singing in the sky. And Saren, what childhood memory comes up for you?
A cart being drawn, the sound of hooves.
Simple and vague. And Solano Deo.
He keeps thinking about like his childhood and growing up, but he doesn't remember a single thing.
What about the feeling or vibe or even vagueness?
Nothing.
Okay.
He
So,
was just staring into his cup of tea and just drinking the tea and staring into his cup of tea and drinking it.
okay. So you eat your meager meal, have some wine. Do you all drink some wine? Okay.
I will not be drinking wine tonight.
Okay. And the family tells you about some of their struggles, mostly how the the rains haven't come in ages. It's windy out, but it hasn't rained, and they're worried about their vineyards. They make sacrifices to Sidon, but so many have done so recently that the livestock is sparse in the region, and it's even led to some conflicts along the roadways. So they have tried to stop traveling, and they are just generally worried about things going on. And it's getting late, but just before bed, there's a knock on the door. And Pericles goes to the door and cracks it open just as he did before. And you hear some mumbles. It sounds like a man is looking for shelter from the wind again. And he kind of closes the door and looks at you all. And he sighs and he says, "There's always room for more." And he opens the door again. He says, "Please, please come in." And into this small, quiet hut, sheltered from the storm, walks a man with a donkey.
Into the hut?
Into the hut with the donkey.
Alright.
And he says, "Thank you for offering us shelter. My name is Pavlos. I am simply a wine merchant. This is my donkey. His name is Apollo. Thank you. This wind has gotten extreme, and I'm afraid we just couldn't move further." And he looks around, and Pericles is starts to talk to him about some of the wines, and you see them trading wines pretty quickly, and then Pelagia is kind of commenting on some of the wines, and Pelagia asks how things have been in terms of the wine trade. He says, "Not good. It's been troubling time, and I'm afraid I need to sell Apollo here. I'm heading to Estoria and hope to be there by dawn tomorrow. The wine sales have been going good, but as you know, the harvest is threatened by the drought. And the Titan Sidon, he seems to have cursed this land. But I'm looking forward to the wine festival that is coming up in Astoria. And I hope to get some coin for poor Apollo here." And he pats his donkey on the side. And Apollo looks almost as if he's intelligent enough that he kind of puts his head down knowingly. Does anyone respond?
Sorry to interrupt. What is this wine festival you talk about?
Oh, yes, of course, the wine festival. It is held in Estoria. It's a huge event. And it's very exuberant. People come from all around to enjoy wine, to celebrate. It is something of a party.
Why are you looking to sell your donkey to go to a party?
Oh, no, I need to sell my donkey simply for coin. I just said I'm looking forward to the wine festival as well.
Then what do you need the coin? How much do you need for your donkey?
Well, I'm hoping to get 15 drachma for it, but I am worried I will not get that much. I know that the merchants will sell them for at least 25, considering the lack of livestock for uh, for sacrifices. However, I'm afraid I'm willing to take 10 at this point.
I,
But
if I give you 7 and tell you that I would never sacrifice him, would you take that?
that you would never sacrifice Apollo?
Of course.
Of course, I mean, that does not seem like an of course to me. These times are tough, and the Titans are growing in their need for sacrifice. And
I offer to pitch in another 8 drachma.
I have another 5.
We're at 23 drachma.
and he's just like taken aback. You actually see him like stumble backwards and like put his hand on his chest. He says, "Oh, Pericles, what company has graced you to simply give gold for an old donkey?"
Pablo, the only thing that I said that these two have not said is that I promise you I will not sacrifice this donkey.
But wait, are you bidding against each other, or are you...
I'm not
No.
bidding against each other. I'm just saying that I have already sworn to you that I will not sacrifice it.
And I will swear the same thing.
You swear?
Yeah, I do swear. It's almost as if I'm taking an oath not to sacrifice Apollo here.
And you just see his eyes start to well up. And he says, 23 drachma and Apollo lives.
Wait, I only agree with this if Akanthi also swears this donkey will not be slain by our hands.
And he looks at the tattooed face of Akanthi, eyes welled. Are you with us, Akanthi?
I'm assuming she's agreeing.
I'm assuming as well, but
I hope so.
she might be on push to talk, or she might have just lagged
She's
or
just
something.
like, no, I'm not swearing that.
She's like, oh, she says, "I'm not going to kill the donkey."
Okay. I missed the not part. All I saw is I'm going to kill the donkey.
So,
Donkey meat. It is a. It's a.
We've been looking for bacon. I mean, anyways.
Oh my god.
We have donkey meat all the time in Amazonian conclave. No, I'm kidding. No, I will not kill the donkey.
so he is just speechless, and he says, "Well, please let me give you at least a couple bottles of wine with Apollo, and if I may ask, where are you going? Where are you taking Apollo? What is your mission?"
We're heading to Estoria.
Oh,
So if you'd like to accompany us,
I like that idea. I think that is a good idea.
oh, I would be very grateful to spend the last few miles with you to Estoria and to say my goodbyes to Apollo.
Hey, Pavlos,
Yes.
instead of having to give us multiple bottles of wine because you are a good person, you treat Apollo as equal and you show respect. Why don't you have a bottle of wine with us here tonight in celebration and of fate bringing us together?
Ah, that sounds very good, my friend.
You do not have to lose your equity in your stock in your trade just for us.
Well, I believe fate has guided me here and given me the blessing of meeting you all. And he looks at you with squinty
I'd like
eyes.
to look at Pericles and be like, if this is okay with you. Are
And
you fine with this?
Pericles,
He's our host.
yeah, Pericles and his wife Pelagia, they are just beaming. You see their eyes welling up at just the generosity, at the humaneness of this interaction with all that's gone wrong in the Heartlands in the last few weeks, they are just beaming, and they're looking at their children too, and kind of commenting and saying, "See, there are good things in the world, Aura and Erotus. Look for the good." And of course Pericles gives you his blessing.
Then shall we cheers?
Yes, we shall cheers. And he pops open a bottle, and yes, you guys all cheer. And I sort of thought this might happen, so I made separate tokens so we can make
Yes!
sure.
Sweet.
A noble steed.
A noble speed.
Into battle.
Not into battle.
We just keep dragging people along, don't we?
I'm honestly super.
Trying.
Yes.
I'm honestly surprised nobody looked at Pablo's deadpan and said, "That's a nice ass you got."
I think, I don't know. Just weird being stuffed in this house.
Yeah, with a donkey.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to like minimize the amount of space. Solano's gonna try to minimize the amount of space he's using to make everybody else comfortable. He does not need much.
I'd also like to look at Pericles and just say, hey, I understand that he's now part of our family, but do you have any sort of stable or something where we can...
Yes, we have a small stable. We have lost our last livestock, and it held 2 horses of decent size, but he will be lonely, but he will be safe.
Do you have feed?
We do, yes. We have very few feed, but we do have feed. He will be okay for the night.
I will stay there with him tonight.
Okay. You find yourself, it's not as blocking of the wind as it is in the main hut here, but it's a pretty rough night for you, but you sleep okay.
I've got my shield. I'm gonna like place it as best as I can do in front of me to block the wind and kind of cuddle up with the donkey.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll animal handling? Let's see how Apollo likes it.
Probably not well.
Okay, he tolerates you. He finds that the warmth of your body is alright, but as you shift through the night, your horns poke him a little, and he's a little weary about just your general size and how you...
Kicks me, my horns poke him.
Yeah, it's a
It's
little...
kind of like a wrestling match all night long of trying to get some sleep.
Yes, you
It's
guys
like living
are...
with my wife.
Yeah, it's like a new relationship when you're trying to figure out how to share the bed and who gets the sheets and...
Or an old relationship, whichever.
Yeah. So, yes, Zark and Apollo head out. As the rest of you are kind of settling in, cleaning up the dishes, you see little Aura, 7 years old, kind of trying to gently point out to Kira that she is using a note that is not in the key of the song that they were just playing together. And Kira is saying, I respectfully disagree, and Aura's like, no, that is not in the key. If you want to change keys, we could change keys, but you cannot play that note in this song unless we change keys. And Kira's just like, you're so cute, you've got a lot to learn. And you just see Aura kind of rolling her eyes. And if you haven't seen Aura, I'm pretty happy with that token. She looks so good.
She looks like she's rolling her eyes.
Yep, she's like, Kira. Okay, she just puts up with her. Yeah, she's known Kira for some time, so the night goes well. Does anyone want to do anything before you slip away or sleep for the night?
Auntie's down with going to sleep.
Okay. So you all rest well. And you wake up in the morning, and there Um, there's not a lot of eggs. There's about one egg for each of you, but it's enough to break your fasting for the morning. And Kira's giving them hugs and kind of patting little Aura on the head, saying, "Don't worry, you'll get the music thing soon enough." And again, Aura's just not having anything. Zark, you wake up to find that Apollo is not a morning donkey. He doesn't seem to want to get up and meet the sun. He just kind of wants to lay there. What do you do?
I mean, I just want to get up and get the donkey ass out of my face. I've protected him for the night, and I'll stand there. I'll look for something to drink for the morning that'll wake me up, and come back and watch over the donkey and make sure he's doing good.
Okay, they do have grape juice. They don't even have water. So it's been so dry that they've essentially been using grape juice for their own liquid intake, and yeah, they're again pretty sparse in terms of food and whatnot, but they do get by. Every one of you, including Pavlos, has an egg to start them off in the morning. Pavlos is still just very grateful for you all, and he helps get Apollo up, and he says, "Apollo's not a very good morning donkey, but..." And he kind of ruffles in the bag that's strapped to Apollo, and you see these kind of like dried pieces of meat, and you see Apollo immediately get up as soon as he starts to ruffle through the bag, and he says, "This here is the trick. You find any rodent, squirrel, turkey, anything roaming around, you just, kill it, you cook it, you dry it, and it will be perfect little treats for Apollo here. It's the only thing that gets him up in the morning."
I am
Give him
very
meat.
confused about this donkey.
He's a weird donkey.
Why? No, donkeys don't eat meat. No.
No,
No.
no.
I think Akanthi and I are in agreement on this. The donkeys don't eat meat.
It cannot be healthy for him.
And Pavlos looks
Why?
confused. He's like, "Well, it wakes him up, but you're right. He seems to puke a little bit about 30 minutes after eating, but it wakes him up. I don't know why he eats it."
Perhaps he should go to bed earlier.
Yeah, tell the donkey to stop drinking. I mean, I'd like to inspect this meat, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's kind of hard to tell what it is. It looks like it's dried meat, but you don't know like from what creature it came from.
They would like to inspect the donkey. She doesn't know a lot about donkeys, but she knows about horses.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a normal donkey. Like I said, he looks intelligent and he responds to the meat. You do notice the meat is very odorous. It smells very strong, like it's got a lot of spices on it. Solano Day, are you looking for something specific?
I'm checking out the donkey.
Uh,
Oh,
was
yeah,
trying to
he's
check out the
lifting
donkey.
the leg. He's lifting the leg. Like, is this thing okay?
yeah, he looks like he's well.
Yeah, like, try this meat and just like kind of bite on it and taste it and sniff it and try and figure out
It's
why.
awful.
Yeah.
It's very much rich in sodium, salty. It's very spicy, but it's not good. In fact, it's just very hard to chew. It's almost like gum.
salt?
I can't tell what it's from.
Did you roll?
I haven't rolled anything.
Okay, roll like intelligence.
Yes, I'm extremely intelligent.
No idea. It's just a super salty.
Tastes like meat.
Yeah, it seems to be mostly spicy.
Well, guys, this is a weird ass donkey. All I can tell you, this is a weird ass donkey. But do we have more of this meat in case this donkey doesn't want to wake up in the morning, so we can give him a little sniffer and get him on his way?
Pavlos pulls out the last two pieces that he says that he has. He says, perhaps you just find, I mean, this is what I do. I just find the wild game and cook it and dry it with spices, and it seems to wake up Apollo here.
What kind of spices?
Well, that's an inside joke, Bob, but let's not go there.
Yeah, oh, I know where this is going.
No.
I know exactly where this is going.
Different game. Okay. No, it's just, pepper and he looks through his bag and he hardly has any left, and he's like, it's mostly dried pepper. He seems to respond to the smell, maybe. I don't know. He's often, and you look at him, he is a very skinny donkey. He's wasting away.
Maybe because he throws up every time you feed him.
Yeah. Pavlos is not, from what you can tell, pretty much just uses this donkey to haul his shit and doesn't seem to know very much about donkeys.
Well, I'm gonna go collect some berries and stuff. And
What's the
seeds
grass
and-
like around here?
Yeah.
Is the grass like green?
It's
Or
not.
is it
It's not
all-
very green. Yeah, everything's been dried from the drought. But there is some stuff that Apollo navigates to. And if you're looking for herbs, now would be a good time to roll.
I was just gonna
Ooh,
say,
yeah, let's
somebody.
do that.
So you are in the
I would
spring.
like to look around for some herbs. Please.
There we go. So you're in the springtime of a temperate area. So let me roll on temperate spring. Actually, wait. What did we decide that you were gonna first do? Let me see. Herbal guide. So roll me a d20.
Survival with
Yep, survival with your proficiency.
my proficiency.
So,
Wait, where'd I go? Hello.
you meet your friend.
What is yeah.
Uh,
Oh
Yeah,
my
23
gosh.
plus 2. Wait, where's my proficiency?
Okay, so
It
you
don't matter.
Yeah, 20,
Yeah.
so that's 25. Yes. I got all the herbs.
yeah.
We got-
I try to help.
All right. I'll add one to the list for your help. So you find 5.
I'll point out what, yeah. We'll discuss the herbs together.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for you on the table since it's easier, and then I'll add them to your sheet. So you find comfrey, you find Eber, you find bastet, you find fumitor and milkwort, and let me add all of those to your sheet. And I think this will go well because even though you'll see kind of what they all do, I think that what it does is you still have to like roll to. Oh, it won't let me just drag and drop that. That's sad. Oh, no, it did.
What?
Milkwort.
It should.
Okay, yep. Milkwort, fumitor, bastet, Eber, and comfrey. Now, I will tell you that in that guide that I'm using, a lot of the stuff is kind of flavor and useless, but there are some things that I actually had to power down because for this specific campaign, it would have been OP. So there are certain herbs that you can get that are very beneficial for this campaign, and a lot of it may seem like, it just says like, oh, it treats fever or something. So you're welcome to use it for flavor, and if there is kind of a component to it, I built it in. Also, when you do use an herb, it'll automatically be removed from your inventory upon use, like a potion would.
Excellent.
So
it's under consumables. Very nice. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, check those out. I think a lot of them that you kind of have to roll to see how well they work when you use them or something like that. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, you find some berries as well. They are pretty dried out, but Apollo ravishly eats them just right up. He's eating dead grass. He seems to be starving. He ate some feed that Pericles had, but Pericles didn't have much. But you did notice when you went to bed the night before that he finished the last little bucket of feed that Pericles had.
That I had like a pillow of like hay, and like in the morning I had nothing. I was sleeping on the ground.
Nice.
Essentially.
Yep.
As we walk today, Akanti's going to be doing, I guess, survival check, looking around for things that are good for horses.
Foods?
Huh?
Foods?
As far as trees, like trees and shrubberies and
Just anything that we can feed this donkey to get him back to healthy.
Okay, yeah, so
That we already overpaid, but I think
I'll be gathering.
Honestly, I think we're like ready to move on unless somebody else wants to do something, but we want to start moving on to Estoria.
Okay.
While feeding the donkey.
Sure, so you start to, you guys are...
not like an innuendo for anything.
Yeah, you're feeding the donkey.
And I'm also going to just be picking stuff for later, too, for when we stop.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's where I blink and
Armfuls of grass, and he's got saddlebags, right? I can stuff stuff into his bags.
Yep, he's got some bags, so you don't have to worry about that. And
That's what I'm doing.
Pavlos walks with you, and he says, "Oh, donkeys don't eat dried squirrel. Okay."
God damn it, Pablo.
And he's like, "I think fate."
You owe us like 15 drachma back.
I think fate. No. Make sure you remove the drachma. He said 23, and there was an oath sworn to keep to Apollo safe. So, yes.
I'm trying to feed him.
So if you promise 7 or 8 drachma, make sure you take it away from your inventory. I'm not micromanaging that. Okay.
I got it. It's already done.
So you say goodbye to the kids. Orotus is especially sad to see Zark go.
I'm gonna pat him on the back, and I'm gonna be like, I will be back, and you better have honed in on those skills that I taught you.
And he says, I will. And he kind of swings his wooden sword. And you parry it really quick, and he laughs. And Pericles says, we wish you the best of luck. Your success will bring in our success. And he says, now excuse me, I must continue to work on the farm. And he goes to work as you guys start to leave. And you start heading back onto the road. With, now you have in hand Apollo and Pavlos. And you continue on your way to Estoria. And let's see. That's really sad, Zark, but okay. Huh?
I just read. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So.
One day we'll meet that town.
Mm-hmm.
That
Um,
kid is gonna grow up and be the big bad guy of the whole story, and he's gonna be the one that's fighting against us because I taught him how to fight.
No, just like
You figured out the whole campaign.
yeah, just like in the corner, you see me playing to kill him.
So you make your way to Astoria, and you're greeted by. Actually, well, I won't get to the map yet. So, oops. Oh, this is not where I need to be. Um, so you approach the city from the south, and you encounter, as you walk along with Pavlos and Apollo and Kira, there is ahead of you a caravan of merchants who are also headed towards Astoria. You see that they have some domesticated animals. In fact, the first that you've seen, besides Apollo, in some time, they look like bony oxen lumbering along the dusty road, and the merchants seem tired, and they kind of greet you warily. And yeah, when you get to the entrance, there is kind of an archway that people come and go through. It doesn't seem to be guarded at all, but as you start to get into the city, the streets grow more crowded. Travelers and citizens are mingling, exchanging both goods and gossip. Guards line the streets, though they are mostly concentrated at the entrance to the gates, but you see that they seem to be restless. They try to present a stoic facade, but they're definitely restless about something. And shortly, the more steps that you take in, the more you realize that there are eyes on you. And a small detachment of hoplite soldiers moving in unison, move towards you from the north. One man is bearing an officer's insignia, steps forward from his fellow officers and men, and he respectfully hails your party.
Is there something the problem, sir?
The king demands an audience with the heroes of the Heartlands. Please, will you meet with King Pythor?
It's not like we have a choice. But please do not let that girl come with us.
That girl?
Can
Just like point to the bar, like take her away.
the Kira lady?
Something looks
she's
quick
right
at dark
there.
to see his reaction.
And Kira kind of steps up and she says, "No, I need to talk to Pythor. He needs to hear what I have to say, and I am absolutely coming with you."
How about you go first, and then we'll go.
And you see that
You need to talk to him.
you see
don't want
the guard, the lead guard guy. He kind of shuffles and he says, "Please, heroes from the Heartland, if you come, it is seen favorably upon the guard. If you do not come, well, I'm afraid that it will look poorly on the soldiers. We will have consequences."
Guard, what's your name?
Oh gosh.
His
Guard
name's
number
Tim.
24.
No, I've got tables for this. His name is, oh gosh, Cleombrotos.
Let's-
Hey, Clay. Here's the thing, Clay. What will happen if we don't go with you?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not quite sure. I mean, on a good day, he'll forget. On a bad day, he won't.
What happens if he doesn't forget?
I mean, I may lose my job as a soldier. He may send me to the steppes to deal with the centaurs. He may just simply put me on civic duties.
Like writing horse tickets?
No, like cleaning up the waste.
Horse duty.
Not just horse duty. There are people and centaurs and satyrs and all
And
kinds.
what? And what?
So I guess
How was I
And
gonna
what?
say it?
I guess we just go to the king. You know, it's just like it's like you bring the most uncomfortable conversations every time. Like, tell me your history. Ah,
So I will show you the map real quick. But yeah, we're gonna end shortly here. But let me show you where you are. Oh, where is it?
hmm.
Cities and worlds. You are in Astoria.
Yep.
I think I can paste you here. Yep, there you go. So, you all entered through the south gate. Oh, did I activate it? Oh, here we go. Sorry.
There we go.
And after that exchange, I will agree to go see the king. Obviously, but
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way through the town. As you enter, there's
also up to them.
the river Archelon is moving on the edge of town here. There's a public amphitheater that you see passing on your left. You come into a marketplace where you see lots of kind of a, it's still a small little village, so to speak. So it's not like any uh, great establishment, more like a farmer's market kind of thing. You pass the Dragon's Tooth, which Kira points out is a place where a lot of folks will mingle, sort of like a bathhouse or a bar. And you start to head.
A bathhouse or a bar?
I know. I gotta. It's something. Let me see.
It's a place.
It's a
It's
place.
a bar for who and a bathhouse for who. That's what I want.
Yeah,
I
that's the
know.
question.
I know.
Places if you just drank and sweated so
Uh,
much.
The Dragon's Tooth is a public house that is, yeah, mostly alcohol. So the scent of food and sounds of raucous conversation emanate from the open door and windows. So yeah, it just says it's a public house.
Okay.
Okay, it's a
It's a
pub.
bar.
Yeah, it's a tavern.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, nice.
And then you move around to the corner and you start to head to the King's Palace, which is where we will pick up next time because I didn't think you'd all get this far. It's hard to tell how much
Yay.
roleplay there will be.
Yeah.
So you have had a few nights. You rested at the Oracle's Grotto, and you rested at the Lillotti household. So I think specifically I'm thinking of Akanthi. You have had probably ample time to tinker and to
Yeah.
create your Stimfay.
Make the
Nice.
bird.
Did you happen to see that in your available actors list?
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually looked at it and didn't see it, but
okay, I gave you permission, but
yeah,
let me.
no, I saw it.
Yep, you have ownership. It should say Stimfay copy, and I often have to remember it's FAY because if you type in
It's under automatons. Okay.
yep, it's under
Not
automatons, and if you use the search bar, Stimfay should pop it open. But you should have permission for the one with the copy. Feel free to edit it as you please. I have another Stimfay that is for, I guess, whenever one shows up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a cute.
I will
like,
be.
gave-
I will spend the night making banging and clanging noises
Well,
in my room.
Yeah,